Hello. In this mini module, we are going to talk about creating time for coaching, which is a topic that can definitely be different depending on the district that you're in or depending on the administrators that you might be working with. And so we're just going to talk about a few different ideas that can help you and your teachers carve out some time so that you can get in some meaningful coaching. Every school district treats this a little bit differently. So I'm going to talk a little bit more in general terms, hoping that at least a few of our suggestions here will ring true for you and your experience within your district. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is outline the clear expectations, not necessarily with like building administrators first, but you want to start with your direct administrator. So that may be a curriculum director, that may be a different administrator within the district, but have a conversation with them about what their expectations are for your coaching and what your expectations or what your goals are for your coaching throughout the district. Once you've nailed those things down, then you can go to your different building administrators and have conversations in a more direct way. So once you have those done and out of the way, then you can really start to integrate your coaching within each of the buildings that you may work with. So as you can see over here on the side, I've given you 3 different ways that you can really interact with your teachers once all of that other stuff is out of the way with administrators. So first, create a video. It could even be something as simple as this. What's nice about creating a video is A, you can practice. B, it's one clear, concise message that you can send out to teachers. You don't have to worry about the repetition or presenting it, over and over. You can send it via email. You can have it shared at like a PD day, and then you can be there in person to answer questions or to facilitate. So creating that video helps you get in everything that you were hoping to say, and it lets people know exactly what you stand for and how you can help them. The second thing that you might be able to do is make appointment slots for sign up. And this is something that I've done with really great success. Google Calendar has come a long way, but for me, I find that You Can Book Me works a little bit better. And we're going to go into that here in our next slide. But having a place where people can go on and access your calendar without having to send you email after email saying things like, hey, are you available at this time? Or, hey, what does next Tuesday look like for you? They could go on to either of those platforms. They can see your schedule and they know where they can then fit into that puzzle. And then the last tip that I have here is flex scheduling. So by no means should you be overworking yourself. That's not what this is. Flexible scheduling means perhaps, tomorrow you're going to come in at, let's say, 7 o'clock. So that way you can meet with the high school staff before their day begins. But tomorrow, maybe you slide that back to 8 or 8:30 so that you can meet with elementary teachers. And then obviously you would work until, 3 or, 4 or whatever that might be so that you get in all of your hours for the day. But by using this flex scheduling, now you can then meet with the teachers that you might need to meet with before or after school, and you're really hitting them in a place where they're receptive to hearing your message. I mentioned a moment ago about You Can Book Me. You Can Book Me is a really great tool that helps you connect your Google Calendar with the people who might be looking to have a meeting with you. So what's nice is you are the one that's totally in control here. Basically, the way that it works is if You Can Book Me sees something in your calendar that is an event or is a meeting or whatever, it marks you as busy on its platform. So a person cannot book you for that time. Let's take a look at this example here. So this is my You Can Book Me page. You can see that this is for the month of December in 2020. And the way that I've marked this out is I don't want people to be able to mark me for a meeting the very next day. I want them to be able to see me, a couple days out. That way I have time to prepare. So as you make your way down here, you can see that the first opportunity that a person could book me is for tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. And you can see Monday is a day that I'm pretty free. I have quite a bit of time open. However, you'll notice that from 9 to 11, basically, I'm booked through this window. So if you wanted to, let's play pretend I'm like a teacher here, I could click this button, and then the teacher would then input their information. And I always include some type of question here that says, like, what type of personalized coaching are you looking for? That way I know what I need to do for them. Once they do that, they're going to hit this green button down here that says confirm booking. You, the person who has set this up, is going to get an email, and also the person who is completing this form is also going to get an email, which is really, really nice. So by allowing for teachers, administrators, whoever it might be throughout your district, to access your calendar and to book those different items, you're basically setting yourself up for success, so that you don't have to go through, tons and tons of emails to say, like, okay, well, this person got to me first, so I'm going to meet with them. Then sift through a whole bunch of other emails to figure those things out. You Can Book Me handles that all for you. Okay, next, I wanted to talk a little bit about maximizing your time for coaching. So your time is valuable. I'm sure you're going to be bouncing back and forth between all kinds of different classrooms, as well as buildings, perhaps. So here's a couple tips that can help you maximize that time with your teachers. One of the best things that you could do is set up a standing coaching period, or like a collaboration time within your school schedule. So that way, like, as you're planning meetings with other people, or people are asking if you're available, you can always say, hey, from the time of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., that's my coaching window, and I don't book anything in that time. That's time for me to meet with teachers, or kind of pop into different places. So you're basically protecting that time so that you can meet with the people that you need, and that's going to be a free time for you should a teacher ask for a coaching opportunity. One of my favorite things is food. And so anytime that you can integrate that into coaching would, I'm sure, definitely be well received. So maybe you want to hold some type of lunch and learn activity. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you are providing the food for people, but set up shop in a teacher's lounge, or say, hey, on this day at this time, I'm going to be in so-and-so's room during the lunch period. If you want to come and have lunch with us, we're going to be talking about some cool stuff. So lunch and learn is really low key. Basically, everybody's barrier for entry is really low. Just come and hang out. And while we're sitting and eating, I'm going to show you something interesting that might help you in your classroom. In the same sense, you could choose to meet on the teacher's home turf. So maybe in their classroom, or maybe in a room that's comfortable for them. I'd also encourage you, maybe if your office, or if you have an office, if it's near the main office area, try to get away from that space. And that's nothing against our administrators, who I'm sure are all wonderful, but this definitely allows teachers to kind of let their guard down a little bit, and they may be more willing to share things with you, knowing that the principal's office isn't the next door over, or those other kinds of conversations that might be happening in the main office. They're not going to be involved in your coaching. So remember, your goal is to assist teachers. It's not there to evaluate teachers. So anytime you can kind of step aside from that role, I'm sure would be greatly appreciated by your teachers. The last tip I have here to maximize your time with coaching is to try and find those windows of extra time that you can have that may be utilized for something else, or that a teacher may be able to get away. So I'm thinking of things like assemblies. I'm thinking of things like homeroom, if that's something that your building has. But basically, any extra time where teachers might be able to share a different duty, if you can, pluck them away for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, that way you can have those good conversations. I'm sure that would be very much appreciated by the teachers that you're working with. And then also consider like that in-class collaboration time. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, an extra window. So I guess what I'm getting at is I really want you to be able to protect that in-class work with your teachers, as well as their planning time. So instead of saying, hey, you have this planning time set aside where I know you need to do this, but also I really want to talk to you about that. have it during that class time. So jump in, say, beforehand, hey, I know you were thinking about this different topic. How about we put this into practice and try it out with this set of students? And then we can have a conversation about how it went and all those other good, wonderful things. So definitely anytime that you can bring those live demonstrations into class with real students, I'm sure would be much appreciated by your teachers. Okay, so with that in mind, there are a whole bunch of things that you can do to maximize your coaching time with your teachers, and hopefully you've picked up a few different tips that you can put into practice very soon. All right, thank you very much for watching this module, and definitely be sure to check out all the other wonderful modules on this channel and as well as within our network. All right, have a great day.